Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, Magnetic Reversal News, Sacred Geography, and Shinrin Yoku, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Tuesday, March 21st, around 9:30 p.m. Mountain Time 2023. Giant asteroids hitting Earth are becoming more dangerous than they thought. Well, if you've been watching Leah and I's science program on Magnetic Reversal News, you know what they just found out. But the big story is 150,000 people are without power as intense storm slams California. And the numbers are quite higher. Keep calm. It's boom time. In fact, 250,000 are without power, which is slightly reduced in the last hour, but hours of powers in California as it faces record snow in the Sierra Nevada. Closing resorts and locals, well, are sick of shoveling. There's no telling how much more snow is coming for the Sierras, but it will certainly be record-breaking, and the full forecast is coming in just a moment. Now, Tahoe sees the second snowiest winter on record. Snow is burying ski lifts in the Sierras, well, and resorts are shutting down. At the same time, California is battling with heavy floods, with more rain and winds coming, and Lake Tulare is filling, and that's what we're looking at here. Most Californians are under severe weather alerts as another atmospheric river unleashes heavy rain and powerful winds and floods that basin at Tulare. Flooding and wet weather cause evacuation orders and highway closures in Arizona as well, as record snow piles up in the region. Chicago area facing marginal severe weather threat as hail and gusty winds are possible on Wednesday. Here's the forecast. Powerful southwest storm will bring high winds and critical fire weather threats into the south and central high plains. Locally, heavy rain and snowmelt may cause local flooding in Southern California and central Arizona, causing, well, major flooding. Heavy mountain snow will continue in California and into the Rockies. It's been snowing outside here for 3 days. And a winter storm warning just issued said it is in effect until further notice. I've never seen that before. Let's walk the snow through here. Here is Wednesday all day through your Thursday. And these numbers are just coming in. And we're back with more of the models that we didn't have uploaded here. So let's take a look through Wednesday through Thursday morning. Take a look at this. We're looking at 1 or 2 foot on the South Sierra, the South San Juans here, as well as 16 inches on the South Sierras. Here is your Thursday through Friday. As you can see, heavy snow is going to continue to move through the Cascades and Sierras through the weekend, as well as some small systems through the upper plains. And then it is Saturday. That is Saturday in Pagosa, but it is their lose day in Michigan. Take a look at this explosion over Michigan on Saturday into Sunday morning. Hello. And then heavy snow is going to accumulate in the Northeast starting Saturday and into Sunday. That will be their fun day, and skiing is well reserved. If we move the models forward, take a look at this. The heavy snow continues in the west, multiple atmospheric rivers, and there is no end in sight to our plight through the first week of April. So it is going to be a white Easter indeed, especially for the west. Seismic update, many quakes of note. We have a 4.4 in the middle of nowhere in Greenland. We have some activity in the mid-ocean ridges. We've got boom time, 6.5 in Afghanistan. Thank God this was very deep. Very few people felt that. I'm sure some buildings were affected. But overall, no big quakes above 7.5 magnitude have been felt, and we are now under a 48-hour watch for the boom because of a coronal hole facing Earth. The good news is that worldwide volcano news is unimportant. All volcanoes are puffing and passing at normal relativity. The sun is quiet as we are in solar max and dropping down into the B range. Some other channels, which have 500,000 or more subscribers, said that we were in an uptick. Who knew they were so clueless? Well, they are busy. They do live in the suburbs and haven't prepped a thing. Here is the Discover solar wind showing the reality We've gone up, we've pumped up here into 550 kilometers per second, but we're waiting for the coronal hole boom, which is coming soon. In the next 24 to 48 hours is earthquake watch, as this coronal hole is now past center disk. So the next 48 hours is big boom time, watch time. And it's also going to equal some geomagnetic instability. And they're predicting by the end of March 24th up to KP6. So if anything else comes up in the meantime, it could be boom time, geomagnetically speaking, on the end of the 24th. Stay tuned for more updates. Now, the perfect coronal mass ejection has been escaping Earth at least for the last decade or more. Starting back in 2010 at the beginning of solar cycle 24, a phenomenon which is now referred to as Earth facing quiet has perpetuated the disk. And what that means is that when sunspots face Earth, they tend not to flare. They may flare at the limb, they may flare on the backside, but as they move across the front of the disk, they remain quiet, just like active region 3256 here isn't doing anything. It flared on the limb, it flared on the backside, and it is completely quiet on the front. So this Earth-facing quiet is a new phenomenon. And when it ends, well, that is the end of the empire. The perfect coronal mass ejection could be a nightmare, according to this paper coming out in December of 2020. Numerical simulations of the geospace response to the arrival of an idealized perfect interplanetary coronal mass ejection. Hello. This is the full paper, so go check it out. We're going to do an update on magnetic reversal news on the actual dangers of such a coronal mass ejection on Earth, and they're a lot less than we once thought. So that's good news for the community. Bad news is that giant asteroids hitting Earth is becoming more dangerous than thought. Now, a deep dive over the last 15 or 20 weeks with Lee and I on our radio program at revolution.radio has uncovered some unfortunate casualties, and that's Earth. And what we've concluded over our deep dive over the past few months, scientifically speaking, is that impactors on Earth affect Earth far more often than the mainstream science agrees with. And now, a paper coming out is agreeing with us. So they've just put the pieces together like we have, or they've been watching the show and they're in academia and they're just writing a paper based on what we've already researched. It's up to you to decide, but giant asteroids hitting the Earth are becoming more dangerous than originally thought. So buckle up, it's coming. Now, Prince Edward Island Potato Board says it has filed for a judicial review because of a seed potato ban. This is WEF. This is Agenda 2035. They're literally killing millions of chickens, and now they're destroying millions of pounds of crops. The P.E.I. Potato Board application for judicial review of federal government restrictions prohibiting the export of seed potatoes is scheduled to be heard in federal court later this week. The board filed application against the Canadian Food Inspection Agency and the Federal Minister of Agriculture last June because they had destroyed, well, millions of pounds. The board said it continues to demand answers and accountability from the government, adding that the ban has caused catastrophic damage to the industry and roughly 300 million pounds of potatoes were destroyed after the ban was put in place, which the industry has caused an upward of 50 million in losses. More losses coming from the banks in the U.S. Silicon Valley Bank's collapse highlights the $620 billion hole that's lurking in all of the banks. This is the unrealized gains or losses on investment securities in the U.S., and it is epic. Look at the 2022 losses, and you can see, well, folks, we're in for the end of the empire any day now. They are prolonging this while they print trillions of dollars of funny money. It's so funny that Credit Suisse gold bars and hats and bags are cropping up in online stores. As the once global banking empire tanked by over 80% in just a few months, once was a stronghold in hiding your money, has becoming a fear-mongering index. Now, if you know about what's going on, you've watched the channel for a decade, you know about a bug out plan. And if you do have a piece of land, maybe you bought an acre for 10 grand and there's nothing on it, and you're looking at buying one of those sheds that are made of flake board and OSB and all kind of toxic chemicals and glues that are outgassing formaldehyde, and then you're going to have to cover them with all kind of other things like insulation and drywall. It's going to cost you $100,000 for just a tiny home. But we have a solution here on the channel. It's called Bunky Life. And we've partnered with the CEO of the company. It's up in Canada. They make all of their products out of pure pine, pure wood. There's no outgassing of toxic chemicals. And this is a structure you can build yourself with instructions. It can be done in just a weekend. And, well, the bunkies are tiny houses, actual homes. They're actual structures that you can build in a weekend with just a mallet and some simple tools. You don't have to be a carpenter. They come in a kit, and they outpace and outshine any prefabbed shed you can buy because they're actually made for people. And what's more important, they're actually the same price as those toxic sheds. And now it took a lot for us to get this company to move to the U.S. and offer it to people in the United States, but it's happening now through Oppenheimer Ranch Project. And you, the subscriber and the listener, you can get your own cabin bunkie kit in a week sent to you. And the price is epically lower than any garbage piece of toxic waste formaldehyde shed you can buy prefabbed from Home Depot. The 2019 bunkie with a loft is under $10,000, and you can build it in a weekend and move in the next day. Hey. If you're intrigued, take our quiz if you're really ready for the bunkie life. And all the proceeds and a small portion of your purchase will come to our channel and support the work we do here, as well as support the amazing work of the people that created Bunky Life, including the CEO, David, who I know personally. So please check it out. And if you are in the area the first week of April, April 1st and 2nd, please come to the San Luis Valley Seed Exchange, where Lee and I will be speaking about the Backyard Gardener Permaculturalist Zone 5A at 11:30 a.m. on Saturday, which is Saturday in Pagosa. Leah will have all her custom jewelry there, which is probably a lot more money than you can afford. And I will be giving away millions of free seeds and free cannabis at the event. So join us for the event of a lifetime, where we will build community and knowledge together. And check out Bunky Life. It's totally awesome. Plus, we've launched our own personal question and answer website, and you can join the community. Just click up on the right corner there. There are now 19 members, 12 conversations, and questions and answers that will be in perpetuity here on the site. You can get direct contact with me. You can do live streams on Zoom, book a meeting. You can do a $20 5-minute chat and ask me dozens of questions, or you can just come here for free and sign up at the community for free and ask a question. I answered 12 questions today. Everyone seems to be stoked. This is a great community. Please get involved. And that's a boom to knowledge. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Support us by buying a bunkie. Come to the event. Get free weed. Ask us a question on our 5.me/diamond. Are you ready for the bunkie life? It's about to collapse. I hope you're preparing. Be safe. We love you. And that is a boom.